Hello everyone and welcome to the February edition of Vanother Collective. So Vanother Collective are a collection of like-minded travel enthusiasts who have got camper vans, motorhomes, caravans, and every month we get together around an agreed topic and then we put our individual thoughts as a family or as a group about that particular subject. So don't forget to watch the other videos. We'll pop the link to the playlist below. Our February edition of Vanother Collective is going to be based on our plans for 2024 from now onwards. So with today being the 2nd of February, obviously our plans tend to change quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and take you through what our plans are based from this moment on for the remainder of the year. So for the remainder of February, it's our plans to stay on this campsite which we're on in just north of Agadir in Morocco. So we got here at the end of October, so we've treated it a little bit like a winter seasonal pitch. So just so you can have a quick look as to what it looks like whilst we're here. So this is where we're going to stay until at least the end of February. And then we'll possibly into March, but we've got other plans for March which we'll take you through now as well. So depending on how long we choose to stay on this campsite for, it's obviously my birthday at the beginning of March, so we do sometimes like to go to a bit of an all-inclusive or something like that in Marrakesh whilst we're here. But if not, we're planning on spending March to travel all the way back up to get into Spain. So you know, it's something which we've done it in a day before, but what we're going to do is we're going to go across into the desert and we're going to try and spend roughly about a month getting from where we are now over towards the Algerian border, and then we'll drive up through Morocco, through the desert, possibly over the Tizian Test or the Tizian Chica Pass, which is a mountain range, and then we'll then move towards the end of March with a plan to get out of Morocco at the end of March. Then as we move into April, so we could really, if we wanted to, we could stay in Morocco up until the end of April, but we're going to get back into Spain around about the beginning of April or the end of March. We're then going to spend roughly a month travelling up through Spain. So this time, because we've done the west coast and Portugal and northern Spain, what we've not done is we've not done the east coast, so we've not done the likes of Marbella, Malaga, Barcelona up that way. So that's the plan, to spend a month making our way up through Spain, get right up into the northeast of Spain. Then maybe I would like to spend a few days then in San Sebastian, which is just on the northern tip of Spain, before we then start thinking about getting back into the UK. So we've got a deadline to be back into the UK for no other reason than we said that we would look to try and help out at A&E Leisure. So we want to be back in the UK, in the northwest, by the end of April. So May, we don't really have too many plans for May. May is going to be just a bit of time that we can spend catching up with family, because we've all been out of the UK since the sort of beginning of October. So it'll be just a chance to get back, catch up with everyone, let everyone catch up with seeing the beef, because he's done an incredible amount of growing in the last 6 months. So May is going to be a very quiet, consolidating month of relaxing mainly. So for June, once again, is going to be a relatively quiet month for OnlyVans. The only thing that we know that we've got planned in the month of June is we're going to go and spend a week at Cofton in Devon. We're going to take my mum and we're going to stay in a static caravan, me, Lisa, the beef and my mum. So for those of you that have never been to Cofton holidays, I promise you it's probably one of the best campsites in the UK, and at that time of year Devon is absolutely gorgeous place to go to. It's definitely one worth checking out. And then July it starts to get a little bit busier for us. We've got Dubbed Out Festival in July. We've also got Camper Jam Festival in July as well. So we'll be working both of those on the stand with our pals at A&E Leisure. So we'll be there for both of those. and they are just very, very tiring, very, very demanding sort of things. So, you know, if you think we have to set up on a Wednesday and then it's non-stop then till the Sunday, but you've obviously got the prep work that goes into the show beforehand with picking and making sure we've got everything, and then it takes 2 or 3 days after that to sort of get everything back to normal. So, you know, they are a pretty intense sort of 10 to 14 days that really, really do take it out of you. They are absolutely knackering. And then August, we will leave the UK again for the year. And it's our plan to spend the first week, maybe 2 weeks, in Brittany somewhere, away with my sister and my brother-in-law and my nephews. So we'd normally spend perhaps 3 or 4 weeks away with them a year. Obviously, with us being away so much, it's very, very difficult to do so. So we've definitely committed to doing that. Somewhere like San Malo, Brittany, maybe not quite far as La Rochelle, but certainly somewhere on there where we can get the ferry over and not have to drive a million miles. And then once we've done that, we're then going to spend roughly the second half of France travelling from France, because we're going to do a bit of a tour of Eastern Europe, sort of towards the back end of the summer and into the autumn. So we're going to spend maybe whenever we leave the campsite in Brittany, we're then going to spend the next week or so, or 2 weeks, getting from France, and we're going to aim for Slovenia. So we want to get from France to Slovenia in sort of roughly the 2.5 weeks that's remaining of August. For September then, we're trying to spend maybe another 2 weeks in Slovenia, 2 or 3 weeks in Slovenia, because it's supposed to be such an incredible place to go and spend some time in a camper van. And the benefit of doing it in September, it hopefully won't be as busy then as what it would be perhaps in July and August. So they're pretty fluid in the sense of, if we get from France to Slovenia in a week, then that's absolutely fine as well. But we think that if we can get to Slovenia, and then we think we could perhaps cover a lot of Slovenia in maybe 3 to 4 weeks, because there's a handful of countries that I want to try and cover in this little bit of time. But it's about balancing my Schengen days and then making sure that we've got enough days to get back from where we're planning on finishing to get back through. So in September time, it's going to be Slovenia. And then depending on how much time then we spend driving around Slovenia, the next country that we're going to visit is going to be Croatia. So we're either going to try and spend the vast majority of sort of the back end of September and you know, part way through October in Croatia. Like I said, the reason why we're only going to have 2.5 months is because of the Schengen days. So since Croatia's become part of the Schengen, we just need to make sure that I'm leaving a couple of weeks to get from where we're planning on spending the next 3 or 4 weeks, which will then take us into the winter. So I think in the back end of October, I'm going to leave the Schengen group of countries and we're going to spend some time in Bosnia. So I'd like to try and spend maybe 3 or 4 weeks in Bosnia, but whether that's Bosnia and Albania, or whether that's Bosnia and Serbia, or Bosnia or Bulgaria, it's, you know, if 4 weeks is too much in Bosnia, then I'll be doing a bit of another country. We'll be doing a bit of another country as well, because like I say, it's trying to keep out of the Schengen for a little bit of time to make sure that we've got the days to get back through. So after Bosnia plus another country, or whether that's just Bosnia, November, well, the first part of November will be spent there, or if it's really, really cold, we might try and come back a little bit earlier. But the reason why I need to have 2 weeks left is I'm going to get from Bosnia to Morocco. So how I'm going to get from there is I'm going to travel from I think it's Split in Croatia to get the ferry to Italy. I'm going to drive straight across Italy in an almost a straight line to get the ferry from Rome to Barcelona. And then I'm going to drive down Barcelona to get to Algeciras to come back into Morocco to try and get into Agadir again for middle of November, end of November. So that's why the not spending those full 90 days in the Schengen countries is really, really important. And then full circle will then be spending December back here on our, what we call our winter seasonal pitch, which is back into Morocco. Like I say, since we got here on the 26th of October into Morocco, we've had 2 days of rain. It's been, pretty much at least 20 degrees every single day. We've absolutely got the money's worth from the air conditioning, and there's just no place else that you can go in a leisure vehicle and get the nice weather in the winter time. So certainly for the foreseeable future, we will probably be spending 3 to 6 months over the winter in Morocco. Hope you've enjoyed our winter plans, and let us know what your winter plans are down below.